Well, finally, Mother Nature decides to cooperate with those skiers down south. The skies are sunny and the weather apparently is perfect.
About time. So skiers are getting out and ready to compete in the World Extreme Skiing event in Valdez, and that's where Jonathan White joins us live. Hi, Jonathan.
Good afternoon, Curtis and Laura. We're here at the World Extreme Skiing Championships Day 8. This event was supposed to start 1 week ago, and as you can see behind me, they're ready to go. Today is a perfect day weather-wise. The skiers are just now getting into the helicopters. They're going to get up to a peak behind this range here. We're about 10 miles outside Valdez. We're going to pan up and try to get a shot of the mountain they're going to ski today. Bear with us as we get up there. This slope you're seeing in front of us is not the mountain. This peak behind this smaller hill here is called Meteorite Mountain. And on the other side, there's an extreme slope there called Double Edge. And that's where they're about to take the skiers today. There are 5 male competitors and 5 female competitors left in town. They're ready to get up there. They've been waiting in this weather, waiting in Valdez for the skies to clear, and they finally have the perfect day today. They're going to get up. As you can see, the helicopter's just now turning their rotor blades and ready to go. In about 10 minutes, we're going to follow them and get up into the mountains and try to get some of these extreme runs in. They're not actually going to judge by camera today. They are bringing judges to the mountain. The weather is allowing everybody in. Hopefully, if things stay the way they are, we should have the first full day of competition here at the World Extreme Skiing Championships.
Jonathan, it looks like a Chamber of Commerce kind of day. How much time do they have to complete this if the weather turns bad again?
Well, the weather forecast for today is pretty good. We're not actually in Thompson Pass. We're just 2 or 3 miles on this side of Keystone Canyon, where Bridal Veil Falls are, if you're familiar with this area. There was kind of a marine layer of fog that built up here in the morning. It's burned off now. The clouds behind us look like they're going to go too. They've got 3 days to get this event in, and today, tomorrow, and Friday look about the same. So they've got plenty of time. It looks like they have really good weather. It certainly has been worth the wait, the skiers say. If the weather holds, the snow is good as well, so they should be able to get this off. I'm going to step out of the way and let you watch this helicopter take off. We'll be back at 5 and again on the News Hour to get you all the action today. I can't hear you, Curtis, Laura. I have lost IFB, and I can't hear with the helicopter, so I'm just going to toss it back to you and hope this guy gets us up in the mountains in about an hour.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jonathan White reporting live from sunny Valdez for a change. Looks like he's on his way to getting a tan as well.
Absolutely.
Many Alaskans see the Iditarod as winter's last hurrah.
But for at least one group of adventurers, the most action-packed part of spring involves strapping on a pair of skis and hooking yourself up behind a snow machine, a fast snow machine. The annual Arctic Man's about to get underway near Paxson with more spectators than the population of many towns.
Channel 2's Jonathan White joins us live from the scene of the action with a lot more. Jonathan.
Hey, John Maria, we're here at mile 195.5 of the Richardson Highway. As you see a state trooper walk right in front of me. We're here in the main staging area of Arctic Man. There are literally thousands of people here. We're a ways off the highway, but when you come in here, it looks just like a small city. They've got a couple of big tents set up here. They've got restaurants and all kinds of venues in here. Snow machines are coming up and down the road here. You've got people in their RVs. There are many RVs here tonight. When you come up the Richardson Highway, it's just like an oasis. One by one, they roll through the Alaska wilderness on the Richardson Highway. And when they gather together in the middle of nowhere at mile 195.5, a small city pops up.
We are going to park 1,150 motorhomes on that pad by Saturday night.
One weekend each year in April, the most populated place you'll find in these parts is the annual pilgrimage to Arctic Man.
Right, it's just exactly in the middle of nowhere, and we try and explain that to people, and we draw them diagrams, but they can't figure, they just can't understand it.
And you'd have to see what they came for to believe it. A ski and snow machine race in the hills off the highway where speeds can hit 90 miles per hour when the two sports hook up together.
Behind the snow machine, it's a little bit scary because you don't have much control, but you just hang on, go fast, and pray, I guess.
There's not much time to do much else. It'll take the top teams just over 4 minutes to run the 5.5-mile course. This race began 16 years ago as a quirky idea a few buddies came up with.
Way more than I ever figured would happen. I mean, we started this thing as a fun little bunch of guys, and 9 skiers show up first year, 50 people, you know, we're hoping the times work, and it went from there to just an unbelievable, sensational event.
Over the years, the crowds at Arctic Man have boomed. Last year, an estimated 13,000 people came here, and this year, with the great weather, they expect even more. And they keep coming and coming up the Richardson Highway. More motorhomes pull in this parking lot every minute. It's really unbelievable. Motorhomes, snow machines, campers, and trailers. The competition's going to take place up in the hills behind us. The finish line is about 2 miles from here, and then the start line is another 4 or 5 miles up through an amazing amazing canyon area. And the peaks back there at the southern side of the Alaska Range all come out. The weather's just been beautiful. Altogether, there's going to be 42 competitors. There's a new this year, a women's snowboarding division. There's snowboarders as well that race down this course. So, John Maria, it's loud and crazy here. All kinds of people. You just cannot believe how many people are here. Tomorrow, they're expecting even more.
Jonathan, looks like a ton of fun. It is extreme skiing for you continued, I guess. Just a different kind.
Yeah, extreme skiing on a different kind. The extremers down in Valdez waited for the weather, and wouldn't you know it, the first official day of the Arctic Man is just sunny and clear. They've got great weather. They say the conditions are bluebird, the way they call it here. The conditions are nice and hard and fast for the machiners and the racers. They think this year they could break the 90-mile-per-hour speed record up on what they call the top of the hill there, where the skiers and the machiners hook up right before they slingshot them down into the canyon. It's really amazing.
That is. Thanks, Jonathan. Have a good time. Jonathan White reporting live tonight from Paxson. You know, I could do that.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
On the snow machine.
Not necessarily.
Not
and not necessarily on 2 feet.
Get Maria behind it, slingshot her down there.
Hey.
Like that.
Hey.
Hey, that would be fun.
After a brief taste of extreme skiing, the weather in Valdez forced the cancellation of yet another day of competition at the World Extreme Skiing Championships. Time is running out to complete the 10-day event. Channel 2's Jonathan White joins us now from Valdez with the latest. Jonathan.
Hello, Maria. I'll tell you, we've been doing everything we can this week to stop from going stir-crazy, waiting to get into the mountains, waiting for the clouds to clear. As you can see, a beautiful night tonight in Valdez Harbor. The sun is out, the clouds are lifting just a little bit. Great weather for kayaking, just unfortunately not very good weather for skiing. Another delay today, day 7. The key word today is extreme patience. Despite the latest storm keeping them out of the mountains, a handful of extremers found another way to get on their skis today. The sun even broke out after lunch, exposing a few of the local peaks, and it may have looked like ideal conditions for a World Extreme Skiing Championship, but the action today was held to kayaks instead.
A lot of the skiers are like, oh yeah, let's stick it out, this is worth it. You know, they travel the world to places that are like this, so they're used to it and they understand that, and they don't want to stick it out. They know the production's worth it.
A few skiers got a taste of it yesterday. 6 women competitors finally got a few turns on a local mountain. A scaled-down version of what they'd hoped for, only a few hundred vertical feet, but a good chance to get out after 6 days of waiting.
That felt good that we could actually just lay some turns out, and I had a good run, so I'm pretty psyched.
The weather chased everyone off the mountain before they really got started. The men never even got to ski. The days are ticking away here, only 3 left in the 10-day window opened for this event. Plan B is now in effect. Any run skiers get in before Friday will be caught by an aerial cameraman to be judged later.
I'm just being patient with my days off because I know that when it clears and the time's right, when the snow is settled, there's just phenomenal, just unreal skiing to be had.
And until the sun comes out and lets skiers back on the mountains, they'll find anything to do to pass the time. And that goes for just about everybody in Valdez, looking for things to pass the time. Tomorrow, the forecast again, as it's been, sunny. The National Weather Service says that Thompson Pass, the clouds could lift, and they should be high and dry, and they've got 3 days left to try to get this event in, Maria. And if they don't, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to paddle all the way back to Anchorage.
I think you should. Extreme paddling.
Maybe I will. Yeah, right.
Jonathan, if the skiing does take place tomorrow, where can the public go to watch? Where's a safe place over there?
Well, you know, the original plan was to go from a place called 40½ mile along the Richardson Highway, and the plan was that people would be able to look up and see that. If they have to move it into the mountains and the camera get it, they're going to take the video back every night, and they hope to show it, if they get some skiing, at the Valdez Convention Center here in town, so the public can come by and watch what they put up on the big screen there. Again, it's all weather dependent. right now, this is all that's going on down here right now. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be back up in the mountains and out of the kayaks here.
Okay, one quick question. John just asked me, do you expect to get paid for this? You've been kayaking, you've been skiing, you've been...
Well, yeah. I don't know. You know, I think it was a week ago I was in a go-kart.
That's
you know,
true.
a couple...
It's been really a difficult stretch for you.
Yeah, well, someone's got to do it,
That's
though, right?
Have fun, Jonathan. Be careful out there.
All right.
Jonathan White reporting from a kayak in Valdez.
Oh, you're kidding. He'll put in overtime for
Oh,
it.
yeah. Especially get back to the dock there.
It is frustrating. Both those
wanting it to happen.
crews been waiting to see that. Maybe another bold Channel 2 experiment for next year. Who knows? Well, it is day 3 of the World Extreme Skiing Championships, and it brings delay number 3. This time it's not clouds, but the threat of avalanches forcing a delay in the competition. Channel 2's Jonathan White is in Thompson Pass with more. Jonathan, is this thing ever going to start?
Yeah, John, Maria, we're in Thompson Pass, just a few feet from the summit, actually. Yeah, avalanche danger, the story here today. All week we've been trying to show you sort of a slice of life here from Thompson Pass, and this is really what it's about. Unfortunately, the clouds have moved in late this afternoon, this morning. Just a beautiful day. It looked like they'd get the first day of competition in the World Extreme Skiing competition underway. Unfortunately, avalanche danger. They just received too much snow in the last few days, but life definitely went on today in the Chugach Range. The morning in Thompson Pass began with promising sounds and an even better sight. Sunlight drenched the peaks here today instead of clouds. But the weather wasn't the problem today, it was the avalanche danger. For the 3rd straight day, the World Extreme Skiing Championships put on hold. Too much snow, not enough time to make it safe.
We're dealing with quite a bit of new snow, but it's looking pretty good. But since we've got this many days of clear weather coming in, we're just going to play it safe today, get the control work done.
But for a few hundred snow machiners down the road, the conditions were perfect. The 10th annual Mountain Man Hill Climb pits man and machine against gravity.
The way down's the most scary part. Going up's easy. Coming down's what's scary.
Why?
I don't know. You can't stop coming down.
Four classes of machine ran the gates today. Racers from all over the state. The biggest field to ever show up for this event.
Trying to get the fastest line I can and hit all the bumps right so I can keep my speed up and get all them gates nice and tight when you're cutting them. And it's not, when you're running, it doesn't seem that steep.
Avalanche danger did keep the finish line a little lower today, but when it's safe tomorrow, they'll head to the top, 2,000 feet straight up.
It's one of those extreme events. Just the nerve of going that high. I mean, you know, it's a big tight knot in the stomach there.
And by the weekend, they'll have a new king of the hill. Tomorrow morning, competition resumes in the Mountain Man competition. Unfortunately, a snow machine did not take me up this ridge. This is all the skiing that people can do today, is hiking these lower ridges, and maybe if you're lucky enough and you can afford a cat ski, they've got some of these cats running around these hills. John Marie, it's Friday. We have to work this weekend covering WESC, but we figure we worked hard enough this week for at least one run. What do you think?
Let's see it, Jean-Claude White. Go ahead. We're going to take you forward. No. I want to see some extreme skiing here. Come on.
Don't wipe out, Jonathan. Thousands of people are watching.
Come on. Don't you have a question first?
I have no question.
You're really going to put me on the spot?
We need to go. Our producer says you need to ski.
Well, to be honest... To be honest with you, if I drop down this ridge, you won't see me, and the IFB and Mike will go out, but we'll get video of it, and we'll send it to James and Heather. They can put it on the tent.
All right.
Thanks,
all right. I guess I can go.
Be careful, okay?
Oh, we got to see this. Here we go.
All right.
Bonsai.
Looking down, looking up.
Hopefully the satellite window will run out, and then...
Oh, you're doing pretty good. Not bad.
We are out of time,
right,
unfortunately.
Landings,
be careful.
Okay. Let's turn to Jackie now. Jonathan having too much fun.
I skied once and I didn't fall. Jonathan sent all that bad weather our way. Well, at least the snow showers were
perfect. Conditions gave extreme skiers the green light outside Valdez today. After waiting a week for the skies to clear and the snow to settle, the World Extreme Skiing Championships finally headed down the mountains. Channel 2's Jonathan White joins us live from near Valdez. Jonathan, say it's so.
John, it's true. The payoff today from a pretty frustrating week for skiers and the organizers of WESC in this area today. Lots of smiles tonight, lots of happy people after, yes, the first day of this competition underway today. The skies opened and the skiers ripped off some really unbelievable descents today in the Chugach Range. We spent the day a few thousand feet up in the Chugach Range. Perfect conditions for a perfect mountain. 5 men and 5 women competing today. You're looking at Andrea Binning from Australia. All the skiers today had a chance they've been waiting for all week to tear up the steep strops and the deep powder. This is what they waited for. A 50-degree wall on a mountain called Double Edge.
3, 2, 1, go.
10 extreme skiers finally got a shot at some of the best terrain Alaska's Chugach Range has to offer. 1,400 vertical feet straight down, cliffs and rocks on the way.
It's a beautiful mountain, so I knew the skiers would have a really good time on it. It's something I've skied a bunch of times, and it's great.
The weather finally allowed the first day of this competition after 8 days of waiting. After a few turns down Double Edge, nobody seemed to remember anything else.
Alaska really stands on its own, and today it's really fulfilling the dreams and what I actually thought Alaska would be.
Judges and cameras camped out on a ridge opposite the slope with a perfect view of the action.
I saw some really strong skiers attacking pretty well, making big turns.
They looked for control, form, style, and aggressiveness. Colorado's Johnny Johnson racked up points for taking on this 60-foot cliff. California's Katie Ryder kicked loose a small slide on her first run down. The weather did eventually chase everyone off the mountain, but not before 10 of the world's most extreme skiers left their mark on one of Alaska's most extreme peaks. You're looking at another of one of Alaska's extreme peaks. That's Mr. Clean, the peak you're looking at. That's another venue that WESC has used in the past, and possibly one they might be using here in the next few days. In the end, John, 2 runs for the men, one run for the women. The fog chased everybody else. Everybody off the mountain. We came down here and kind of reassessed. They're looking at the weather. It looks good tomorrow. Each of the competitor groups, the men and the women, have 2 runs on in the books now. So if it were to end, they do have something to judge. Right now they don't have a leader, but they're looking at a couple of different guys. Spencer Wheatley had a great second run, and Johnny Johnson had a great first run. So tonight they're going to judge those runs and come out with leaders for tomorrow if they do ski. It's looking pretty good. Looks like they'll get up in the mountains again tomorrow after a pretty frustrating week of waiting.
Well worth waiting for. Thank you, Jonathan. Looks incredible. Jonathan White reporting live tonight near Valdez.
It's near Valdez today, and the first full day of competition in the World Extreme Skiing Championships got underway. Channel 2's Jonathan White with a full wrap on today's extreme descents.
As the sun goes down in Valdez tonight, many, many happy people, smiles all around for the extreme skiers who, after a week's worth of waiting, finally got a chance today to leave their mark on an extreme Alaskan peak.
It's just a really beautiful slope for these guys to get a chance to rip.
10 extreme skiers plunge down a peak called Double Edge, carving turns into a steep wall of powder, sometimes flying down 1,400 vertical feet of rocks and cliffs. An aerial camera caught every second. Judges scored the runs from below, watching for control, style, and aggressiveness. Skiers had to watch for the snow they'd kicked loose from above.
We looked at this course and we're like, oh, that's not so big. He got there and it was just big.
Double Edge is so big and so steep in some places, it looks as if a skier is attached to a wall as they scout out a line to take down. They need these preliminary runs to get into the finals. But gravity is king here, and it takes them less than a minute to make their way down.
Terrain-wise, it's definitely right in there with the other venues we've skied, for sure. The snow is better than usual.
So after the first day of competition, now in the books, tomorrow gets even bigger. Meteorite Mountain, the mountain for tomorrow, one of the most unique and biggest peaks in the Chugach Range, and that awaits the 10 extreme skiers tomorrow. In Valdez, I'm Jonathan White. Now back to you in Anchorage.
Don't like those heights.
Amazing
Wow.
what they even do. Another frustrating day for extreme skiers outside Valdez. Perfect weather, but extremely dangerous snow conditions delayed the start of the World Extreme Skiing Competition once again. Jonathan White has been waiting it out as well all week, and he joins us now live from Thompson Pass with the latest. Jonathan.
Hi, Teresa, you're right. We've been waiting it out all week along with about a dozen extreme skiers here in Thompson Pass. We're going to show you what it looks like right now. There is a whole lot of snow here. It snowed for 3 or 4 days. It finally stopped yesterday and the sun came out this morning. Beautiful conditions. The skiers can't get up in the hills. All they can do now is wait. For the extreme skiers in Thompson Pass today, it's the worst kind of torture. Bright blue skies, and they're grounded.
Today we are going to postpone the event. We're going to look at another alternative area.
The avalanche danger is so high in Thompson Pass right now, WESC organizers don't want to risk the safety of the skiers, and they're waiting another day to see if things settle down.
If you lose it just a tiny bit on solid ice, you'll start sliding, whereas in deep powder, you'll usually, if you make a small mistake, you'll stop. So it's just slide for life conditions basically right now.
It's happening all up and down the pass. The worst avalanche conditions locals have ever seen here. They're happening everywhere, right along the road and up high.
It's a real unstable layer under a lot of snow, and what's happening is we're getting a lot of low elevation avalanches, low aspect avalanches that you don't generally see.
Snow machiners seem to be going where nobody else will go, traveling right next to big avalanche chutes. Local heli guides are taking customers into the mountains, but only where it's safe. As you can see here, this group skied down this spine. Moments later, the ledge beneath them gave way. Nobody was hurt, but nobody's taking chances either.
It's very, very dangerous in these mountains right now.
So Teresa, as you can hear, kind of a strange situation. Skiers love snow, but this weekend in Thompson Pass, there's actually too much snow. And I'll show you what the snow is like. It's very, very wet and very, very compact. It's great for throwing snowballs, like what I'll do for Tom Cole, our photographer here, once we get off me, but it's not very good for skiing. When it's up top, it loosens up and slides below the skiers, and as you heard, they don't want to get on it either. So we're going to wait another day or two. They're hopeful for tomorrow. They were up in the area, avalanche blasting today, and they think they've got it settled down. They're going to try again sometime tomorrow morning.
So I don't think we're going to get to a point, I mean, we've been talking about delay after delay where the event might just have to be canceled altogether.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they have a 10-day window to try to get this in. We're on day 4 right now, so tomorrow's day 5. If they don't get it in within 10 days, they may get some skiing in, maybe the preliminaries. They may actually have to wait until next year.
All right, well, let's hope that doesn't happen. Thanks a lot, Jonathan, reporting live this evening from
Sure.
Thompson Pass.